Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I was gonna do this in a bit of a vlog style, but I decided to put the camera down because it's heavy. I hope that you are well. Welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday. Now I'm doing this Wake Up Wednesday a bit sporadically because life has been very crazy, guys. So much has been going on, and I'm gonna do a whole video to update you, and I just realized that my highlighter just spilled. You know when little things are just really bothering you? Yeah, so much has been going on, guys. It's crazy. It's been crazy. It's been a difficult time. It's been an interesting time, but also a great time at the same time. I don't know if that's all making sense. Right now my stuff is all over the place. I don't even know where the mic is for the camera, so sorry if the sound is a bit off. And those that know will know that I lost my vlogging camera, so anyway, we're not here to talk about that, okay? Just a quick one, because I know that I missed out on the Wake Up Wednesday last week, but that's because I had my meet and greet. Shout out to every single one of you guys that was there. It was amazing, like literally I'm still buzzing from it. It was honestly, it was phenomenal, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for coming. But yes, I had my Wake Up Wednesday, my meet and greet last week, so things have been a little bit crazy and a little bit all over the place. But basically today I wanted to talk about something that a lot of us experience, and that's fear, and the idea that fear is something that needs to be unlearned. So yeah, that's basically going to be it. It's going to be a very short one, but I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that you enjoy it. So one thing that I was just thinking about, you know, I was just brushing my teeth, and I was just like, you know, it's so crazy how fear is something that we are not born with, yet it's something that can potentially stop us from reaching our destiny and reaching our true potential. So when we're born, we know that as little children, we don't fear anything. You know, we fear absolutely nothing. We you know, you have kids, what, you know, if you think, oh, but kids do fear stuff, they don't, because when a kid, you know, is walking around and they're touching sockets where electricity comes from, they're not thinking about, oh my gosh, I could get electrified and die, basically. They're just touching it because they're curious. Or when a kid sees fire and they go towards the fire and want to put their hand in the fire, that's that kid ultimately having no fear, being completely fearless, and just being like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna experiment. I just want to see what will happen if I touch this fire. And then, you know, over time, parents or people around them or teachers or whatever it is basically teach their child, do not touch this, otherwise this consequence will happen. So do not touch fire because you will get burnt, and you don't want to get burnt because it's painful. Or do not put your fingers in sockets because you could potentially die. Or, you know, make sure you respect parents, or you don't talk back, because you know some kids sometimes they go through a phase where they start saying no, and literally you haven't even taught them anything, but they start saying no, and that they don't want to do something, or they don't want to wear something. But then over time you teach them, like, you have to have respect for your parents, otherwise there's consequences to that, essentially instilling a part of fear. And while fear to a degree is important to some aspects, just because it allows us to make rational decisions, it protects us, and our brain is programmed in order for it to protect us. And so when something is happening, alarm bells start going off, like ding 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 ding, do not do this, or do not take one step more, or I don't know, you could be standing on the edge of a cliff, and your brain, when you look down, automatically telling you ding 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 ding, you're at the risk of death if you step any further. So to a degree, fear can be something that actually protects us, and that makes sure that we don't get into horrible situations. But at the same time, fear, you've got to remember that fear is something that could stop our limits and stop our potential, stop us from actually reaching that place of greatness. And fear, again, is something that has been taught, and sometimes it's important to unlearn those elements of fear, unlearn those things, because it's important that we come to a place of, okay, for so long we've been told that speaking in front of an audience is a fearful experience. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe your parents or your friends have told you that because of what they have learned, or because of experiences that they've had, it becomes something to be afraid of, and it's rubbing off on you, and that shouldn't be the case. Or maybe, I don't know, starting your own business. We've been taught, so many people tell stories or whatever it is, or even because people have a sense of uncertainty, and a lot of people find that uncertainty is something to be feared. Well, who said that? Uncertainty could lead to freedom, whether it be financial freedom, emotional freedom, mental freedom, whatever it is. It could potentially lead to freedom. So it's really, really important that we take the time to unlearn certain aspects of fear. Yes, again, like I say, fear can be quite beneficial. It can protect you from hurting yourself, protect you from doing certain things that you shouldn't be doing. But at the same time, if fear is stopping you from, you know, stepping out into the unknown, or, you know, starting that business or doing whatever it is that you want to do, then you need to unlearn that process. And it takes time. It is a journey, but it's very, very important that you start to discipline yourself and train yourself to unlearn those things, because you will limit yourself. You will limit yourself because you're too scared. And where did that fear even come from? It comes from things that you have learned, looking at the news or looking at people's stories or reading books or whatever it is. Because of the experiences of other people, that has instilled a level of fear inside of you. So it's really, really important that you come to a point where you say, okay, I'm going to filter through the things that I'm hearing, or the advice that people are giving me, or the things that people are saying, and I'm going to make sure that I unlearn these things, because it's stopping me from being the best that I could possibly be. So yeah, without repeating too much and sounding like I'm just being super repetitive, just make sure you start to look at fear in a different way. While yes, fear can protect you in some elements, fear can also stop you from reaching your full potential. So yeah, it's time to get to a point where you start unlearning these habits and unlearning these fears, especially when you have, like myself, I have, you know, African parents who there's a lot of things that they fear that I feel like us as a generation in a different time and a different space just do not fear. So things like you know, I know, for example, when my parents first came to the UK, my mum went through like racial abuse and stuff like that, and down to other factors as well, but fear was a prominent factor as to why she felt like she couldn't say anything, because she didn't want to rock the boat, because in her circumstance, you know, it felt as though she couldn't stand up for herself because of fear of losing a job, or losing friends, or people you know, just attacking her, or whatever it is. Whereas our generation, you try and racially abuse me, oh honey, we are gonna, something is gonna go down, okay? But again, it comes to a different generation and different time and different mindsets. So a lot of the fears that, for example, our parents implement in us about job prospects or whatever it is, I just say jobs because that tends to be the main one, you know, that parents and whatever think about, but just things like that. It's time for us to unlearn those things, because we're in a completely different time, and it's just important to make sure that we are doing things for ourselves and within ourselves, if that makes any sense. But yeah, guys, it's just important. If you know that you're one of those people that just has so much fear of so many different things, you need to try and look at the root cause. Why do you have this fear? Where did it come from? Did anyone ever say anything to you that put that fear inside of you? And if so, how can you go about making sure you go to the root of the issue and starting to you know, to pull out those roots, to really dig deep and pull out those roots, so you can set yourself free from fear, because that's all it does. It binds you, it limits you, and it restrains you, you know. And it's so important to come out of that place so that you can fly and you can be free. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna run now, but apologies that this is not in the proper setup, guys. Right now a lot is going on, and I'm gonna explain all of this in a video, but just bear with me. Wake Up Wednesdays will at some point very, very soon be super consistent, and there's going to be Wake Up Wednesdays every single Wednesday for you to expect. But I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Just know that I love and appreciate you all, and yeah, I'll see you guys again very, 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 very soon. Okay, now I'm gonna go now. Peace out.